I was tasked with just blocking some traffic so that the investigation could be completed without interruption. And around 11:30, 11:40, I hear a female voice to my south, who happened to be Becky, who's one of the search and rescue folks, the handler of Ava, the dog. And I could see her waving me down rather frantically. I walked over to her, and she told me that they had located the River's body, is the word she used. And so I was kind of mentally preparing to have the unfortunate task of just finding a dead 2-year-old, which is nothing that anybody wants to do. And so I walked over to her partner, who she told me could point me exactly where River was, and he kind of led me back behind the store. And first thing I saw was just River's legs and just a diaper. And as I came around the corner, there's like a hill and some blackberry bushes. I could see River laying on his right side. His left arm was on his side, and I could see his left arm rising and falling with his breath. And so I think I even got on the radio and said that he was breathing and crying. And to me, that was great news, because that was the first time I saw that he was still alive. I thought that it was going to be a different outcome. And so I quickly got into the blackberry bushes there, and I could see the blackberry bushes were intertwined around his legs. There was a pretty thick vine that was stuck around his right shoulder. And as I was pulling him out, he was entangled, and the other search and rescue gentleman, he started helping me get the blackberry bushes off of him. And River was initially crying there. And as I lifted him out, he just clung to me. You could tell he's really weak. He was very cold to the touch. He just had on a long sleeve T-shirt that was soaking wet, and the diaper. And you could tell he's very sick. Like just based on his response, he stopped crying. He would slowly open his eyes and close his eyes. But overall, it was you could tell he was exhausted. And so he just held on to me. And as we were coming out, I was just concerned where the ambulance would be. I wanted to get him as close to the ambulance as possible. And then I had an officer help me take my coat off and put the coat on him. We got into a patrol car and turned the heat on full blast until the ambulance arrived. And then I got into the ambulance with him, and the firefighters and the paramedics did a great job getting him warm right away. And we went out to Emmanuel with him. So.
How do you feel after all this?
I feel really proud of the people I work with. It wasn't just the police bureau, but it was other agencies. The search and rescue volunteers, awesome. They gave up their weekend to come out. The firefighters, paramedics, detectives, all the people I worked with just did an awesome job. I just happened to be in the right place where Becky saw me and waved me down. I know for a fact that anybody else would have done exactly what I did. So I just feel really proud of the organization that I represent and the people I work with. So.
You feel kind of connected to that boy?
I do. Yeah. We as officers, we see a lot of sad things, and so we try to keep personal, maybe a little bit of distance, so they don't affect us as much. But with River, it was clear, like he was so longing to be rescued and to feel that human contact that it was hard not to connect with him. And he's really cute, and so it's hard to not love him. And so you think your own kids, like how what. In a time like that, and what River must have gone through when he was stuck in those blackberry bushes. So you feel really bad for him, and so you just want to do everything you can to make him feel loved. So.
Do you mind sharing? Do you have kids of your own?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
When we saw him on the video,
Mm-hmm.
we were all watching from
Right.
the air, and then we see you guys put your coat over him.
Right.
His little legs are just beet red.
Right.
I mean, was that from cold? And I was out there yesterday. I mean, there was inch-long thorns.
Yeah, it was a pretty mature blackberry bush. He had scratches up and down his legs, and so I assume I don't know how he got there. I assume he tripped and fell into the bushes, but he clearly was struggling to get out. And just the way that the berm is in the back behind that store and those bushes, he was. I think the more he fought, he probably just entangled himself more, and so he was definitely stuck and needed somebody to come. So. He definitely struggled to get out, but couldn't do it himself.
Talk again when they first told you. I mean, she was waving you
Right.
in, and she was, saying it was a body.
Right.
That's obviously gotta just feel so heavy.
Yeah, it is. And as the time goes on, you start thinking that, a 2-year-old in these conditions, how long can they, and not one person had called, because typically these kinds of calls, we usually get the call before the parents even know the kid's missing, because people are like, hey, there's a 2-year-old wandering around out here. And so the longer it had been on, the more your mindset starts to shift to maybe River isn't going to make it. And so, yeah, it was kind of that double-edged sword where you're happy that they may have found him, but you're also regretting the fact that you may have to go deal with the fact that, you've got a dead 2-year-old. But thankfully, it was not that case. It was quite the opposite. So,
Who pulled off their jacket to put it on the?
it was my jacket. Officer Jake Congdon, helped me take my jacket off, and we put it on him. So, and then I think one of the detectives had a stocking cap that they stuck on River's head to keep him warm while we waited for the ambulance.
I think some of us viewing the video were all cheering at that.
Yeah, as I remember walking out, I seen multiple neighbors outside the perimeter just cheering, and it definitely was like a good moment there, but it was also still scary because, River was really cold to the touch, like you take something out of the refrigerator. It felt that cold to me. He was freezing, and so I was hoping that the sooner we get him to that ambulance, the better chance he has. So there was definitely some bittersweet there. I was hoping that it wasn't going to go, but clearly it worked out really well.
It's a pretty unusual spot out there without that canine.
Yeah, officers. The call came in around 6, and officers were searching all morning, and so it's just such a big area, and he's so little. You don't know. I know officers did a really good job all over the area, and it was back in those bushes, and it was dark when they first got. So, who knows how he got missed? But I'm really thankful that the dog found him. Yeah.
When you had him when you had him in your arms, were you talking to him? What was it like carrying him out?
Yeah, and it's just like when you have kids, you just try to comfort them, soothe them. I kept trying to get him to. Say something to me or acknowledge me, but he would look up at me. He's got beautiful blue eyes, and he would look at me, and then he'd close his eyes and go to sleep. I just felt like he was exhausted, and so I was trying to get some sort of verbal confirmation that he knew I was there to help him, but he just seemed completely exhausted to me.
Did he feel like comfortable in your arms then? You said he's going to sleep.
Yeah, he had like a death grip on me. He didn't want to let go of me. And so I just held him tight and I knew my body heat would, is the best thing to warm him up. So I was just trying to hold on to him tight and just reassure him that we're going to get help coming his way.
Have you seen him since?
I have not. My wife and I are foster parents, and so we know he's in state custody. And so my wife reached out and contacted the home that he's in right now, and all reports are good that he's doing really well. So I know that for a fact.
Did he say anything to you?
No. After he was in the hospital, I was there. He was really hungry, and so he said food to one of the nurses. So he knew how to say he was hungry. But other than that, he was really, really tired.
I don't know, have you ever been on a search for a missing kid before?
I have. Not under these circumstances where it's been so long. Like I said, usually within the first half hour to an hour, we find the kid. And so, yeah, I've never been on one that has been this extended. So it was a really good outcome based on what I've heard about, the longer it takes, the likelihood of him being alive it decreases.
And he was really only a block from home.
Correct.
Obviously way back.
Right.
Thing, but that's amazing that, I don't know how far you guys fan out to look, but.
Yeah. My understanding, we were just doing block by block grid searches. Multiple officers were doing that, and there was a sergeant just coordinating the search effort. Had multiple neighbors come up to me and ask if they could help look, and I assumed that there was going to be some sort of organized search party that was going to get started. But I think it's just the location he was found it was kind of back behind a business in all these blackberry bushes, so it wasn't, I guess, the most obvious place to look. I guess you're looking just more around the sidewalks and things, so yeah.
You know about what time you arrived?
I arrived?
At the scene?
Roll call is so maybe 7:30-ish is when I first got out there.
And your duty was to do what at that?
Initially, we were just told to head out and help night shifts because it was kind of the switch over.
Yep.
And so I went out to see if I could help, and then Once some other folks arrived, I was tasked with, hey, can you block 68th and Broadway and make sure nobody comes in or out type thing.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
How many years have you been with the Portland Police Bureau?
A little over 9 years.
And have you been in law enforcement before?
Nope, no, Portland gave me my first job in law enforcement.
Did this anyway reaffirm your decision to become a police officer? Or
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you know, you come in with the intentions that you're here to, you know, help people, and a lot of times it seems like we're, you know, just doing paperwork to help people or arrest people, you know. So there's, you know, sometimes it's just temporary, but this is one of those calls where River's life obviously forever be changed. That we were able to be a part of. Ava and Becky, I mean, they saved his life, and so to be a part of that is something really special. So, my wife commented, "This is probably like, you know, the top of my career." You know, it's not going to get any better than this. So,
I mean, we're a couple days now out from it. I mean, what have the past few days been like for you after experiencing this?
it's been good. I've had a lot of friends and family. You know, they say I'm a hero, but I think Becky and Ava are the true heroes of the rescue team. And like I said, I was just in the right place. Any of my other brothers and sisters in blue would have done exactly what I did, and it just feels good to be a part of something really positive like this.
Do you think, based on kind of where he was found and the scratches that you said he had, I mean, could he have gotten, I mean, there is that little mud path that doesn't quite have the thorns and stuff, but that he went back there on his own?
You know, I was just talking with a sergeant about that. I haven't been out there since the day we found him, and I'm going to go back out and see, because I can't really remember exactly how far back it even was. So I can't even comment on that, whether or not. But it's crazy that that's the path he chose to take. You know, kids, I don't know what their motivations are sometimes when they just run off. So maybe something, you know, chasing a kitty or something. I don't know how he got back there.
How was he dressed?
He had just a diaper on and a long sleeve T-shirt.
Did the t-shirt have any decoration on it?
It was like a Star Wars T-shirt.
Is he dirty or clean?
I mean, I guess he was, because I think he didn't have shoes on, his feet were dirty, and it had been raining, and so it was hard to, I mean, he had a bunch of scratches on him, so I don't, you know, he wasn't like tip-top shape or anything.
Was there a thought to bring the child to the parents after you rescued him?
Honestly, my only concern was getting him into the ambulance. I knew that the ambulance was close because you know, we called for code 3 ambulance, and I felt like just holding on to him and making sure that he was warm. I guess the thought never crossed my mind, you know, to bring him to, and I didn't even know where they were. The last I had seen him was earlier in the morning around 8 o'clock. And I think they were in their apartment or in their house. So I didn't even know where they were. I didn't even know where to take them. I just wanted to get him closest to the ambulance as I could.
Did you bring him to did I hear you brought him to the patrol car first and then to the ambulance?
Yeah, the patrol car, we turned the heat up all the way. I sat in the passenger seat and just held on to him. Yeah.
What's your hope for the ending to this and for the family?
Well, anytime someone gets, you know, a child's taken into state custody, you hope whatever reason that is gets resolved as quickly as possible. You want the kids to be reunited with their parents, and if they have things they need to work on, that they could get those going as soon as possible. Obviously, River, you know, we're glad that he's alive and doing well, and so, you know, as soon as we can get the parent, whatever DHS deal's going on, get that resolved immediately so River can be reunited. That's my goal.
And I know you guys have talked about this before when we were out there that day, but a big lesson, I mean, for
Yeah, I mean,
locks and childproofing.
yeah,
if that
kids
was the case.
kids don't know the dangers, you know, they'll just run after something, and so it's good, you know, if you have a deadbolt that's usually higher than what the kid can reach, or, you know, they have the child-proof doorknob locks, and you could even get those little fake alarms that like beep when you open the door, so you know someone's exited the house. Those are all good ideas, because, yeah, in River's case, I mean, if you're asleep and you don't know he's gone, you don't really have any idea how long he's been out there. So it's just really scary. A good reminder to double check those things in your house for sure.
Did you get to meet the dog, Eva?
I've not met Ava. I'd love to meet Becky, Ava, and I don't know the gentleman that was with Becky and Ava. I'd love to meet them and thank them.
Do you recall what the dog's demeanor was having made this discovery?
I don't. I honestly don't. I just remember going up to Becky and just kind of just quickly talking to her. I don't even remember what the dog was doing. I saw the video of it eating a steak, so he got it. He got his reward. So
Did you get a steak?
I've not got a steak yet. I'm gonna petition that at home when I get home.
How has this changed you? I mean, you have kind of a glow about you since,
I think a lot of times as police officers, we see kind of the worst of society, and we're responding to bad situations. And so when we get positive outcomes, it makes it all worth it. You know, all the hard work and all the sadness that we see. When there's really good things that happen, it makes it worth it. It makes me really proud of the people I work with. That we all do this. I mean, there is a goal through all the stuff we have to deal with, and that is protecting people and saving people's lives. And to be a part of that is really special.
you feel kind of a special connection with River?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a reason why I was the one that was there, and hopefully I'll get to meet River in the future and just say hi to him and meet him. But knowing that I was part of the time where his life was saved by some people, that's really special.